Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Love Camp 7, 1969. This is going to be another Nazi exploitation flick. It's the very first one, as a matter of fact. It comes 2 years prior to Roger Corman's slew of women in prison movies with Pam Grier. I'm giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. I think it's about the same as Salo. It was banned in the UK, Australia, and New Zealand for acts of cruelty, torture, and sexual violence, which permeate throughout the entire film. It's got full frontal nudity. It's directed by Lee Frost, one of my favorite directors. And a little disappointing to see a mediocre Lee Frost movie here, but anyways, it's produced by David F. Friedman, and it's about these 2 army gals. They're pretty smart. They're able to memorize books and stuff. Well, first, I should preface this by saying that this redneck guy is about to do a business deal with some Brit dude who knows about the story. So he tells the story about this Love Camp 7 in Nazi Germany that's supposedly was a real place. And, during World War II. And it's a place where Aryan prisoners are tortured and raped and brutalized. Although one of the prisoners looks Asian to me. She's got black nipples, and unfortunately, I only get to see her naked and with their see-through lingerie towards the end. The camera doesn't really focus much time on her, unfortunately. So that was a little confusing. It's basically a spot where the German officers get to pleasure themselves on these hapless women. So these 2 army gals, they volunteer to become prisoners, and at one point the German dude says, "Lick my boots," and the lady licks his boots. At one point, one of them is straddling on some kind of sharp inverted pyramid-shaped board thing. She's all bloody in her crotch as a result. And things like that, getting slapped around, a lot of dry humping with the German officers. Dry humping in their pants while the women are fully naked on these really shoddy looking beds. It's definitely a low budget movie. The sets look cheap. The acting is pretty bad. And there's a cool scene towards the end where the French resistance or whatever attacks the Love Camp 7. It's still unclear to me why the women had to volunteer themselves to be tortured just to be rescued again. That part didn't make sense to me, but anyways, one of the German officers gets a corkscrew in the throat. That was pretty cool. Other than that, pretty boring movie. There's something wrong with the sound when I watched it for about 5 minutes towards the end, but it was nothing. It was just dry humping scenes of the officers and the women in negligee or partially naked or fully naked. So there's that. I just wanted to get this review in real quick before I go back to work on Labor Day. I've been kind of taking naps in between. Got a lot of sleep last night. I finished watching, Straight Jacket in the morning. Then I took a nap. Then I went to work. Then I came back, took a nap, and then I finished watching Love Camp 7. So I'm on a roll here. It was a little bit better than I expected, this one, but gets really bad reviews. It gets like a 4 rating on IMDb, I think. So I'm rating it a little bit higher than average. 3 to 5. Got some more David F. Friedman stuff to watch tomorrow. I got my son, but I don't think I'll get any Netflix tomorrow. I might get one if I leave later than normal time. Wait around for the mailman, that sort of thing. But I know it surely won't be the Justice League Paradise Lost replacement disc, the stupid cartoon from 2002. The only reason I got it was because William Smith did the voice. It's also got Robert Englund and Eric Roberts voices. So, no, for sure I'm not going to get that one. We'll see what else comes on Tuesday, tomorrow. And I'll keep plugging away at the David F. Friedman stuff. I've got the 2000 Maniacs sequel to watch. Forget the name of it, but that one looks pretty good. So a little disappointing for a Lee Frost movie, but at the same time it was a little bit better than I expected. That's the end of my review. It's not nearly as disgusting and revolting as Salo, which was 5 years later, but yeah. I heard a rumor that Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS and Salon Kitty were better than these. I think I have Salon Kitty in my Netflix queue somewhere, unless they took it out somehow. But anyways, that's about it for this particular Nazi exploitation movie. Laters.